going on, y'all? Welcome to the Pull Up Experience. We have another great edition for you guys. Episode 211. 211, y'all. We got the whole group here today.
We do. We have Brittany, myself, Brandon, and of course, y'all, we have Jessica Williams from Just Juice. Today, she is going to be dropping all the knowledge on us when it comes to wellness all around, right? She's big on making sure that we are getting it in and also giving it out. She pours into people. She's a mother. She's a business owner. She is a community advocate. But she is definitely in the streets and her pull-up game is strong. And we also have you put up on us today, Jess. But we can never do you justice how you do yourself. So please introduce yourself to the people.
Oh, thank you. Well, good afternoon, good evening, good morning, good night, whatever it may be, because we here around the clock, baby. My name is Jessica, also known as One Bless Jess Juice, the owner, the operator, the founder. Here shedding some light, having some fun, and taking some interview questions with the public experience.
Come on now. I'm about to put you with Marquita.
You can. I would love to watch you because I have been watching your journey. And what I love about you is you have a tenacity about you to just show up, show out, and then stay consistent. Because some of us only do 2 or 3.
Oh, thank you.
You know
it's hard.
It is. And you find a way to do that. And I really want to talk about that. So can we talk more about where did this get started? First of all, what's your hood?
I was
What's
say
your
we keep skipping over. That was the dreaded question that I was waiting for because I feel like I'm the little cousin to the hood. You know how you don't live there. You don't live there. Born and raised Maple Heights, baby. Moved on to Bedford. Graduated from Bedford, but I always had that grandparent, that cousin, that friend. Every weekend, every summer, you catch me down there. So while I grew up Maple, Bedford, born and raised, but I do have to give a special shout out to the Mount Pleasant area that my grandmother stayed there, parents stayed there, and it's just a special place in my heart.
Absolutely.
Shout out to Bedford though. You know?
Thank you.
Yeah.
Oh, baby.
So growing up, was entrepreneurship something that was on your mind, was on your radar, or something that you gradually you came into?
Oddly enough, absolutely not. From a youngin, I always felt like I never wanted to be the person responsible. I want to get in there, get my check, and go home. Be done with it, right? It wasn't until much later, grown after around COVID, actually, is when that time that we were working from home allowed me to even venture off and even see myself in an area of being an entrepreneur, and it honestly just fell in my lap. It was something that we started doing at home, juicing at home for ourselves, for our family, that immediately as soon as we took it out the house, took it to work, took it around friends, everybody wanted some. And so it was just like the blessing that came upon me because I would have never thought, never in a million years. I wanted, like I said, go grab my check, have fun on the weekend.
Ain't nothing wrong with that, by the way.
Nothing at all. But here we are a few years later, and I'm even here able to talk to you guys, have some fun, meeting entrepreneurs, entrepreneur-minded like folks as well, having a good time.
That's good. So let me ask you this. So I call the COVID time as like the Renaissance, right?
It was.
Because
it is.
Everyone's getting out the mud, right? Because either you were laid off or you reduced your hours at work or you were just reduced to being at home. But I feel like us as a people, we use that time was like, you know what? Just so I'm never in this position again, I have to learn a skill set or learn how to create something on my own so I can never be in this position ever again. And I love the fact you took advantage of that time or whatnot. So, and I love how you said you guys started juicing. Where juice come from? Because I like juice, but I like the sugary concentrate stuff.
Right.
Like, how you guys stumble upon that? Was it like you I'll get more healthier? Like, how did that come to be?
So I'm going to start with the overall concept of what I want people to know about juicing because it's so personal. Yes, I can bottle it up. Yes, I can serve you what I want. But it's really about what do you like? What have you not tried? What would you like to explore? So it's about you, right? Yes, I create the juices, but it started just because we had fruit in the house. We had fruit in the house. We have a Vitamix. It was collecting dust. Well, let me pull this out one day, and it started with smoothies. It's easier. It was hot outside. We was having a good time with some smoothies, and then I don't know. Honestly, one day the concept, it just came about. But I think it might have been a conversation that was had. I was in my YouTube era, so I'm watching all these crazy YouTubes. And then the juicer that I had wanted, it popped up because research one thing. That's the only thing you see on your phone forever. And when I saw it, I just kept researching it, kept looking at it, and I'm like, you know what, we're gonna do this. And so we started out with the Vitamix using a blender to juice, which is possible. And that's important. Start where you are. I never in a million years thought I would be spending money on a expensive anything, right? So start with what you have. If you have a blender, you can use that to juice. There's just a few more steps into that, but it's definitely possible to do it that way. So once we started playing around with fruit, eating more fruit, I'm like, let's juice this. And we did it. And at first, not lying, it wasn't the best. But after you perfected it, after you played around with it, it was like, this is really a thing. And you juicing and playing around. I'm researching, I'm staying up all night on YouTube, just getting more and more deep dive into it. And before I knew it, a business was birthed. It was amazing.
So juicing has been an idea that I'm not sure where I was at with the search, but the algorithm took me to juicing and the idea of the benefits that come with it. And there's one thing I came across that said you should be able to eat your water. Like most of the water shouldn't be like H2O water, it should be like H3O, and you get most of that from the juice of the fruits that we naturally produce anyways, right? So can we talk more so about the benefits? Because we always talk about the features of businesses or the features of what we got. Like, oh, it's this flavor, it's that flavor, it does this, it does that. And we don't talk more so about why do you care that it's this? Why do you care that it's that? So can we talk more so of the benefits that come along with juicing?
Yeah. So fun fact, I'm a little anemic. So meaning I'm always cold, hands always cold. So that's what it is. You're anemic. The blood flows. It's a low circulation of blood flow throughout the body. So
oh yeah, good. I'm glad you explained that because Brandon thought that was a cartoon lover or whatever.
So yeah, there's a lot of good benefits of it. But I was actually I was walking. I was in a process where I had started a new job and it was a little rough. I was going through those rough phases. So I would catch myself every time I needed a break, I'm gonna take a walk. So it went from me taking a walk to me bringing my juices. Like I said, the minute we started bringing those juices out into the public, it was all eyes. Everybody wanted some. So in the thick of me learning, I was really heavy into juicing because you done made all this juice. I'm not throwing it away. So I'm drinking juice like crazy. I'm walking, and over one summer, like just juicing and walking alone, I lost like 30 pounds.
Amazing.
And it changed my life. It really did because it wasn't something that I set out to do. It wasn't something that I made a plan to do. By grace of God, that's what happened. And so that's what made me start thinking about the benefits. So I wear glasses. What's good for your eyes? Carrots, right? The winter season starts to come up. You want to boost your immunity. Oranges, right? Those juice filled fruits. The benefits of them, it really just comes upon what you want to do, right? I'm anemic. Fun fact, iron is, you can find that in beets. Who in a million years would try a beet, right? And so that's where that coming into play of what are you willing to try? What do you want to do? And that curiosity. Being an entrepreneurship is nothing more than being curious. So I was in real life time figuring out my curiosity, figuring out what do I like, what I don't like. And it was that journey along that just the juicing just took off. So now I'm comfortable enough to say, I can point you out some ingredients, I can point you out some fruits and the benefits of them, but it still goes back to that, your taste buds. It's an empowering type feeling. The empowerment of being able to purchase your own fruit, cut it up, juice it yourself. It's an empowering moment. And to most, it's just making juice. But to me, it's refueling my body. To me, it's bringing this to the table for my kid. Yeah. It's me putting down the Gatorade, like we all know, and picking up that sugar-free, right? And gaining that water. All of these fruits and vegetables have so much water in them. Watermelon, the amount of water in watermelon, it's like the same as you drinking a glass of water. So, but it tastes better. It's sweeter, right? You want to have a little more fun with it. You can freeze it. There's so many different ways that you can do it. So juicing is just a start. I love it, but there's way more to it than just the juice.
Another thing I keep hearing you say, which I love, is you say once we took it out the house, I wanted to bring something back for my kid. Who is we?
Girl, it's the family. It's the family. My son, I have a 17-year-old. Oh my gosh, bless him. 17-year-old, my fiance. those are my backbones.
Mm-hmm.
Those are who, when they see me busting my butt, when they see me up late at night, they kind of recenter, refocus me, and we bring this back. It's a we thing, because it's hard, right? Being the head of household, having a job, having a family, having a hobby, having a whatever you want to have. That's all added on there. So I was really cautious, and I wanted to keep to the forefront of my head. This is a we thing, right? And it's proven, because juices isn't just for women, men, kids. It's for everybody. It's a chance for the family to come together and do something to build that family up. So I always say we, just by happenstance, but it is. It's a family thing.
Now, quick question, because when you said beats, I'm like, I know she's just not drinking beats by himself. By themselves, are you calm? Are you like combining stuff together? So I'm like, because all I'm thinking is like, y'all remember Doug?
Yeah.
Doug was doing the beats, so I'm like, I know she's not just straight up beating just with the beats.
I said 25. No, I'm just playing. Kind of, sort of though. Honestly, it is. You have to really taste each vegetable, each fruit alone before you can really figure out what goes best with it. So yeah, we were taking shots of raw beets, and then taking shots of pineapple, and then taking shots of apple juice, and then just blending it in and seeing how it works. But yeah, you learn. But at the end of the day, it's good for you. So no matter how it tastes, you need to drink it. And that's where your taste buds become adjusted. We're so adjusted to sugar that you would never realize how sweet a beet can be on its own.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow, I didn't think about that. I'm so used to the concentrate, used to the what's that? The high fructose corn syrup and all that good stuff.
The additives, everything.
I'm like a crackhead with that stuff.
Because that's all we know. I got you, Brandon. That's all we know. That's all our taste buds know. Yeah. So it's like something as simple as McDonald's fries. My mom, no salt. Don't you dare put no salt on the McDonald's fries. You know how much of a difference salt is? Oh my gosh, that is the nastiest thing you ever had. But that's your taste buds. You've always had it that way, so you know no other way.
Wow.
So it's really just changing your entire mindset. It's just the juice, but it's changing so much more than that.
So how do you go, for anybody who struggles with mindset shift, because that is a big I feel like it's 2/3 of your journey of entrepreneurship. You know what I'm saying? How do you go and work somebody through the journey of shifting their mindset?
That's good, girl. Where my notes at? Let's read my notes. So that's a good question, because it's a question that I'm still answering.
I love the fact you said that though.
Yeah, because
you know
it's honest.
Because most people are like, I have all the answers. It's okay not to have all the answers.
Thank you, because I don't, and it's honestly, like, I keep bringing it back to juicing. It's those moments when you are open with yourself and you really want to say, I made this, I did this, and to do this, but what if it doesn't?
The results may vary.
They may vary. You made me forget your question.
No, you good. Keep going.
But yeah, it's the mindset. Bringing it back to the mindset. So I said I had a 17-year-old. I had my son in the 11th grade. I had my son where it was a time where I might have been one out of a couple other students. So from the day I found out I was pregnant, my mindset shifted. It was no longer just me, myself. It's me, him, and everything that we have to do.
Yeah.
So because at the time I was a single parent. So it's like, my mindset now is no longer a me. It's a we. And from that moment, that's the one thing I take away from that entire experience, that it shifted my mindset. Because now as an adult, my mindset is still shifting, but now some of that confidence, right?
Yeah.
I don't have that all the time, because now I don't have that support of me and him. It's just me, and I thought I knew myself, but every day I'm learning more and more. So in that mindset, I always think about, if I had one thing to take away from all of this, it would be just to live simple. As a 17-year-old, baby, live simple. Going to work at Jogger Lake, making, I don't know, $7-8 an hour. Live simple. Even as I grew older, even as I made accomplishments, I still had to figure out how to live simple. And you can't get no simpler than going to the market, picking up only some fruit, only some vegetables, and making magic with that. That's simple as it gets. So that mindset of knowing what you have, using what you have simply, it really just, the juices just took care of himself, and more combinations started coming in my head. And at the 2:00 hour in the morning is when I'm sitting down thinking about all of this stuff, and it kept coming. It never stops. So from juicing, I started doing popsicles. And then one day, I was at Fresh Fest actually last year. One day I thought about it. I'm gonna do popsicles. I put up the video. and people are jogging. You got I said, what? And so it was just like, all right, Lord, I hear you. You gave me one thing, and I'll make it multiple. So I'm always on that journey. I'm always trying to figure out, because with the little that we have, I can feed a crowd. Yeah. Some like 2 loaves of fish and some bread, right?
Right.
No, that's good. And let me ask you this: in the age where people are trying to be more health conscious of what they're consuming and whatnot, what advice would you give to someone who's just starting on their journey? Because I know for me, I live a very unhealthy lifestyle as far as what I eat. You know what I'm saying? And like you said, I love how you said it's a mindset shift. Cause like for me, I'm those people like if it don't taste good, I'm good on it because my taste buds are so adjusted to that or whatnot. What would you tell somebody who's trying to adjust to a healthier lifestyle?
The first thing is, when you think about lifestyles, right? It's a life. It's not one thing. It's what you eat, is what you drink, is what you read, is what you listen to, is what you expose yourself to. So it really gets so deep. Sometimes people like, girl, I just want to buy juice. I'm like, well, let's figure it out. Let's figure out what you want, because you'll give me a list and I'll make it. Now you upset. When we could have had a conversation and we could have figured out, we could have carried it out a little bit better. So your whole lifestyle, you have to think about, what is that goal? At the end of the day, and we all know the day going in.
Yeah, Glow.
But like, what is that goal, right? If you want to lose weight, all right, now let's think about your entire life, because the juice alone isn't going to do it. So I need to know, what all are you willing to do to make this change together? And then from that, we can figure out that entire lifestyle, because it's little by little. It's a lot in totality, but it's little by little. What are the little things you're willing to do? One, drinking the juice in the morning. Great. Follow it with some water. Get 15 to 20 minutes a day. Like, those small adjustments will change your entire lifestyle with the juice.
That's good.
Now, being a mom, I know that we can sometimes have the challenge of getting our children to try new and healthier things. Okay, I have teenagers too, so I get it. So, what advice would you give to help, kind of expose your children to this new type of healthier lifestyle and the benefits and the taste buds, getting them to actually like it?
Well, for some folks, you really got to think. I love juice, even the flavors that many may not. But with kids especially, I start off sweet. We're going to slow roll you into this. So my base, we're going to slow roll, because it can get real ugly and real nasty real quick. But I always start off with a pineapple base, depending on the allergies or restrictions. But the pineapple base, the sweeter the fruit is, the better the overall juice will be. And little by little, you're not about to have 4-5 different ingredients and think it's going to blend, because number one, the first thing that's going to be off is the color. So you really want to make sure that you keep things together color wise, because if you know your spectrum of colors, if you put a purple with a red, it is not going to look the best. So that's how I really started. I go off the color wheel. All right, I got my pineapples, my oranges, my golden beets. I know those colors, the carrots. A little celery in there is not going to throw off the color too bad. And that's kind of how I think about with kids. They're not going to drink green, brown, purple. They ain't drinking it. Right? You may not.
Just this kid.
I don't rep the kids. I don't work with kids. Actually, I'm grown up
So you cater to your audience to figure it out, and you wean them in. My little cousin, she'll tell you quick what she don't like. So I use her as my tester, because baby girl is not Kinsley, baby, that's for you. I know what you like, what you don't like. So we've learned. And honestly, it's off of what you do. If you take some juice, your baby gonna take some juice 9 times out of 10, and that's going back to my family. I knew that if I did it, they would do it too. So I really had to make sure that I was doing it to encourage them to do it as well. So you just do it together, but ease into it. With anybody, you always start off sweeter, and then as you learn and as you think you want more and more, and as your goals change and your lifestyle is now adjusted, then we ease into those vegetable based juices with the greens and the kale and the celery and things, and the cucumber, things like that. Those powerful flavors, because as you grow, you're learning and you're adjusting. You're not going to be drinking that same juice, that same fruity filled juice forever and expecting crazy changes, because you didn't open yourself up to all of that.
Shout out to 2U Wine. So specifically, we ask the same thing about wine beginners, and that's usually how wine makers and wine sellers get people to try and refine their palate when it comes to wine. They start off sweet because everybody likes sweet.
Yep.
And then eventually, when you're ready to venture out, I'll let you try something a little stronger till you find your strength.
You're right.
So shout out to you, wine,
She
for
listening.
sure.
Pay attention.
Always home, hardly home, always repping for sure. I want to get more so into who Jess is, because one thing we know about Jess is she is blessed, honey. And what I love about you and in your just natural light, because you have a gift of just welcoming, right? That's a thing for you specifically. And what I love about you is it radiates, and your light shines so bright that you can't help but to radiate on others. And also, it then shines a light on others, and you help pull them up. Like, I don't know where you at, but you coming up here. You know, we're going together. Or even if you there, pull me up. Let's go. You know what I mean? So one thing I like about you, your pull up game is so strong. But who are you? Like, how did you become how you are? Because it's a gift, and I know some of it is just nothing but God. But for real, a lot of people would have broke. Being a 11th grade mother, I was a 25-year-old mother, and I still ain't ready. 10 years later, I don't have it. You know what I mean? And I'm learning every day, but there's a different level of resilience. I try not to say strength because people just keep strength testing you and put more on you and more on you till you break. But I do say you clearly have a resilience about you and your journey and your struggle. So how did you just start to just own it?
Ooh, child, how much time we got?
As much as you need.
Honestly, the Lord had to tell me that. I don't know. Being at that obstacle at that age where the entire world is just looking down, right? It fueled me. It fueled me without me even knowing, because that same message is just, it keeps coming, and I'm like, I did not mean to do this on purpose. It just happened, and it's really just who I am. I really consider myself to be a connector of all things, whether it's an answer that I have to go get for you or it's an answer that I need for myself. I'm constantly thinking about today, tomorrow, and yesterday to make myself better. And in doing that, it just radiates, like you said, to other folks. I mean, having a kid in 11th grade will change some things in you that you had no idea. Like, I really have to contribute a lot of me to that experience, because if it wasn't for that experience, who knows?
Right.
Who knows? I was able to go to college because I have a child. I was able to go to Bob and Wallace through their Sprout program. If it was not for him, I maybe have not would have been to a private school with private, like, for real. I would have never had that opportunity, because in my mind, I can't afford it. Right? So having a child while you're a child, we're growing up together. And now that he's at this phase where he's becoming into adulthood, I feel like now is my time where I'm actually able to learn who I am. Right? I don't have to do the certain things that I used to do before. I don't have to make sure you're good, you got daycare, you got diapers, all of this stuff. Now I can really learn myself and learn who I am, because so much of my life, past 17 years, was to be a parent. So now that it's not over, but it's a little bit easier, I have some space now to actually learn, who am I? What do I want to be? If I'm not a parent, what am I? So I'm a connector. I'm a person that loves people. I'm a person that loves to bring the best out of people, because it brings the best out of me. So I mean, that's who I am. It is what it is. I don't know.
How was your journey back to self? Because what I love is that you understood that you've taken your responsibility, and now you've almost shifted that responsibility solely from your son to, now I have to be responsible for making sure I'm good too. So I have to learn what I like. And true, at 17 and 17 years later, at 34, those are two different women, two different versions of Jess. And you're really got a cheat code, because now you're starting fresh with experience. You know what I mean? Like, it's like, okay, now I'm old enough. I know how to manage some money. I know who to call, and not just Ghostbusters. You know, like, it's a thing. So how has the journey back to yourself been? Because it's also a very vulnerable and emotional thing to have to sit with yourself and actually learn yourself. And most people are still fighting the process of going through it. And you've clearly accepted, this is what I'm going to go through. And like I said, just pulling the blessings with it. But what made you finally just force yourself to sit down and find you?
Yesterday at the event, and like I said, I don't know when I'm gonna watch this, but there was a minority networking expo event yesterday.
Thank you for showing it.
Oh yeah, wouldn't miss it. And it just hearing the panelists speak about you have to become uncomfortable with being comfortable.
Yeah.
That is the truest statement because I feel like, and it's weird because a lot of my friends have toddlers.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm like, y'all tripping on that, baby. Let me pull up a seat. Let's talk about it. But it's so different. I have a core group of friends, and we all have 16, 17-year-olds. Like I said, the woman from Sprout. We still keep in contact to this day, and it's a blessing because you don't have the same concerns as someone with a toddler. Your battles are different. We trying to figure
God
out
bless those
college.
people.
First of all, toddlers, I couldn't imagine right now going through
Pray
all
for
that.
me, pray for me.
Baby, listen. You gonna make it. You gonna make it. It may not be today, but you gonna make it. You gonna make it. But like my challenges are different now. My perspective is different. So oftentimes we joke, but I feel like an auntie, a grandmother, and a young adult all at the same time. Because I'm always in those two circles. So while I'm trying to figure out myself now, right now, my son is the age where I was when I had him. So I'm just thinking about at that age, what did I need? At that age, where did I see myself going? At that age, what did I not know? And even though he's a boy and it's different, I'm still trying to figure out a creative way to give him that, bits and pieces of that. Because you can't give him too much. They only going to listen but a little bit.
Right.
So I give him his freedom and his creative space to do his own thing, but I'm really just trying to find those pockets of maybe he's down, so let me help him out with this. Or back in my day when I was that age, I felt like people didn't listen to certain things. So I try to give an open ear. Sometimes you scared when they tell you stuff, but you happy at the same time they telling you. But I'm like, boy, we are not that cool. But it's a blessing because things were different with my mom. So I'm just trying to always think about at that age. Here comes the young part. Where was I back then? How am I now able to help him now? So I can be where I need to be in my future. And it's just a formula, if you will, because it's such a weird phase of life, right? The typical 33, 34 is enjoying life still. You might have parents a little bit older, maybe you're just now retiring, you're having some fun with them, or you might have parents that you're having to take care of, right? And that's where, where do you find you in the midst of all of that? I just try to figure it out. I try to figure out the best way I have, but I do know I'm still learning. I'm still growing. I'm still open to the changes. And it's just a never ending cycle of life.
So they don't know.
This is a great time in Cleveland tonight, and I think what we look at is black excellence on display right now.
I feel blessed. From the moment I walked in the door, I heard Mr. Wheaton and congratulations and everything. Now all the way up to upstairs, same thing, man. It's a blessing.
I am feeling really grateful, very blessed. It's just an amazing experience to be able to be in the room with so many amazing people and people that are game changers and world changers. That's breaking bread and making businesses in Cleveland, Ohio.
This is a night for the books for not only Cleveland but Ohio. I'm so proud of Tenora.
But you be out here in these streets. Now we said Mount Pleasant, but there is so much that you do specifically for Ward 5 that would not be right to let go unnoticed.
Yeah. That's my heart. That's my heart. I told you I'm like the cousins, like go to school during the week and on the weekends you want to go to auntie house, cousin house, grandma house, right? That's me. That's my spot. So for the past 3 years now, I've been the executive assistant for Ward 5. And it's an amazing title. It's a title that I take with humility because that community, baby, if you ain't got it, they're going to give it to you. But I appreciate them so much because this is a job, but I'm not going to say it's a family, but I am going to say they brought me in like family. I'm talking about good, the bad, the ugly, from the seniors baby girl, come on, let me tell you about this history. And I get it. Every day I'm learning about parks. I'm learning about historic buildings. I'm learning how time was back in the day. And it's beautiful because it's not a boss reading me the history of a business I could care less about. It's the true lived stories of folks. It's how we've been the past 90 years, the stuff that I would have never even thought about picking up a book to read about. It's the kids running up to you and just loving on you like you know me. And I'm like, oh, come on, little baby, I got you. Snot nose and all, I got you. It's my peers who do this work. They're heavy in this field. Every day they're out there working, and you all had a phenomenal range of guests from Ward 5 as well. So I love the fact that they've taken an outsider. I call myself that because in reality, I don't live here. So to a certain extent, I am. I'm an outsider, but y'all didn't say, oh, she don't know what she's talking about. She don't know what she's going. She's getting a paycheck. Baby, a salary paycheck is not an hourly paycheck. Let's just say that. But I do all that extra stuff because I need it. I need to know the history. I need to know how you're living. I need to see those conditions face to face to have a better understanding of this job. This isn't a job for me. This is a job of the people. And I'm not the councilman. However, I work with the people. So I don't stop at 5, go home, pick it back up Monday morning. I'm out here at these events. Yesterday.
Okay, so first of all, because I see Brandon confused, it's just the eyes. Where does Ward 5 stretch in the proximity of Cleveland? Which, like street to street, where could you give him a good idea of where Ward 5 is
I know
first?
Ward 5 is. Okay.
The heart of Ward 5 is the Central neighborhood. That's the entire neighborhood of Central, from 22nd and Central up through 55th, honestly. But it's that whole area, the Cedar, the Central, the Carnegie, those areas, the King Kennedy, the Garden Valley.
Shout out to Star, man.
Shout them out, right? That's the heart of Ward 5. So that area alone has been through so much. Still going through so much that if you're not a compassionate person, you just wouldn't get it. You wouldn't understand. So shout out to them for loving on me, encouraging me, giving me the history, telling me when, all right, little girl, slow it down, bring it back. This ain't that, right? Giving that to me, and I take that and I feed off of that feedback, because once again, it's not a boss reprimanding you. It's not me turning in something wrong. It's if I don't get them the help they need, their lights are going to cut off. If I don't get them the help they need, their water will not get cut back on. If I don't get them the help they need, the pothole at the edge of their driveway is just going to get bigger, right? So there's so many different avenues and aspects that takes this away from just a 9 to 5 that I think that the God did his big one on that one. He made put me in a place, put me in a way,
and
right?
I love that. So you haven't let your day job deter you from your day dream, but almost as if it just is in true alignment with who you are as just a community connector, right? And that particular area, Cleveland, if you are not familiar, is one of those where you be like, let me lock the doors. You know what I mean? You be nervous. I be nervous. And I go to church down there and I still be nervous. However, one thing that I love about you all is the community building. And it's really about the community. Like you said, the people, the seniors, yes, they will get you together. The youth will get you all the way together. But it's not like if you're an outsider and you haven't made the taken initiative to go and be in the community, it's scary. But once you're in there, like I said, it's all love. As long as you're not coming with no mess, they don't want none anyway. They got enough stresses normally. So let's talk about some of the events, because I love how you all make sure that it's enough for everybody. If you want to go outside, we got something for y'all to do.
Absolutely. So Councilman Starr is the busiest council person, right? But you have to be in an impoverished area, in a food desert area, in an area with very little resources. You have to bring it to them. So everywhere you see me at, in that introduction, I'm telling you where I work, why am I here, and I'm bringing you all back to where I work. Everywhere. So yesterday, I'm networking across the board, like, oh, you in finance? Oh, you a bank? Oh, we're going to bring this back to Ward 5, because they're lacking those things. And so for us, every time we think about an event, it's not just an event. It's a way to bring food to the community. It's a way to bring resources to the community, book bags to the community. So we do have a summer full filled with events. The first event that I want to talk about is our Back to School Resource Fair. It is our largest event of the year. And that's my baby. That's my heart. Because it's one day. It'll be August 17th. Hopefully this airs before that. But if not, it's
Absolutely.
cool.
It'll been dropped.
But August 17th is a Saturday. We're kicking it off with a parade at 11 o'clock. The parade is going to start towards like 28th and Central, and it's going to go up Central to Friendly Inn. The parade is the fun part. The parade is the call to action, bringing everybody out, waking them up, get on out, come out, have a good time, and then that leads directly into the resource fair.
That's dope that y'all doing that.
Mm-hmm. It's been a while, with COVID. It was a few years back before anything had happened. So just hearing the sounds of a parade knee deep in the hood is like, what?
From the end, back in the day, from the end, I'm like,
150 years.
I'm going the other way.
Starting on 28.
Man, listen.
Hey, we right in the heart of it. Like I said, we're right in the heart of it. And that's beautiful because who would have thought a girl from Bedford? Right? Never would have thought. Too. Comfy, right? And that's the aspect of Central that we want to bring back.
Yeah,
the old school feeling. The aunties and uncles outside, everybody watching everybody's kid. Like that's the feeling of this resource fair. So last year we had around 40 or so community vendors. Any resource you may have needed, any resource you thought you needed, any resource you were too scared to go out and get. Once again, we brought it back. We brought it back to you. We had live entertainment. So this is the call, right? I don't want to steal y'all question.
No, you got
but
it.
I'm going to steal it. Like we always talking about collaboration, and that's the beauty of this job. My job is collaboration. If I'm bringing you out, if you're coming to host as a vendor, if you're coming to speak, if you're coming to be an instructor, that's what we're here for. So if you are out there and you're trying to figure out, how do I start? We're looking for videographers. We're looking for camera persons. We're looking for anybody who thinks they have a talent when it comes to media. All hands on deck. We need everybody to know about this because there's a lot of things going on this summer. And I love working with the youth, and they're so creative in everything that they do. Shout out to Men and Women of Central. They always have a great time with the youth and bringing the youth out. Walk patent, right? Ghetto therapy. The things that they do with these kids is like it's crazy. So we get to see some of their creative spotlight. So our live entertainment are kid friendly live entertainment, right? We're looking for those connections and those collaborations. If your organization or your company is looking to find out a way to interact with the neighborhood and the community, we're looking for sponsorships. We're looking for people to bring in things. We do a book bag drive of 1,500 book bags. So we're always looking for donations for that. Last year we were blessed to have clothes donations. I'm talking about nice two pieces, Nike fits, everything. It was beautiful. So if you are in the city, you're looking for a way to give back, you're looking for a way to directly affect the community, reach out to me. We're going to have a lot of different ways for you to connect. You can reach out to me on any platform. It don't matter. You can go to clevelandohio.gov, go to the councilman's page and find my email and my phone number, and we could sit down and figure out how can we get you involved. And that's just one. We're working on a senior day event. We're working on a Father's Day health fitness where we're going to have instructors and we're going to have health screenings, right? For our men. For our men who may typically probably won't go to a hospital, definitely not getting a health screening, but you bring it to their community, right where they're at. It's a walk away. It's a short drive away.
Take away the excuses.
Take away the excuses. Bring all the fears, right? You don't have to go to that cold, weird doctor's office. Come right to Friendly Inn. You can have a few different health screenings. You can have some fun, have some food, and take that first step into the right direction with your health. So those are just our summer events. We also have a hot meals distribution. This is a yearly program where we're lucky enough to go out into the community every month and provide hot meals. And then we capped that off on Thanksgiving. And in 1 week, my councilman had me out, y'all, in the streets, but we gave out meals to 8 different locations in 1 week, the week of Thanksgiving. The week where everybody getting ready for vacation. We gearing up to get in the streets. And so that's what I love about my job, right? Because the holidays, everyone like, girl, where you at? Either I'm working or I'm asleep. But I love that part about my job because it's those fulfilling days where everybody, like I said, taking off. We all right. We got this many meals, this many locations, senior buildings, CMJ buildings. We're going to get it in. And that's what I love about it. So a lot going on, a lot more to come. Keep up with us.
And 105 got a lot of landmarks too, over 100-year buildings and all that. But go ahead, Brandon.
I was gonna say for people who want to know more about the events, we'll have in the show notes. So if you're watching the episode right below, it'll be right there for you. Okay. So I got a question for you. And how do you balance it all? How do you balance working a job. Because a lot of people who are watching this are working 9 to 5, and they want to be able to pursue their dreams. And then on top of that, you're a mother. Yeah. You say you have fiance, so you have all these hats you wear. How do you balance that out, time wise and overall?
I don't know.
There we go.
A lot of honesty.
Hey, being as honest as possible. I try to find some time, but once again, I keep it simple. If I learned anything when trying to become an entrepreneur, is that you will find time. I might have been up at 2:00, 3:00 in the morning researching and learning, but you gonna find the time. So the same way you found the time to become a business person, to perfect your craft, to go to school, it's the same time and commitment you have to put into that self-care. And I have to be creative with it. Like yesterday, I hit 2 events one day, and I thought about doing some more. I'm like, girl, if you don't sit down. So it's just knowing that and having that, all right, I'm tired, but sometimes that butt will kick your butt. So I just try to be conscious.
That butt will kick your butt.
It will, because but I have so much stuff to do, but if you don't sit down, the Lord will sit you down.
Baby.
I know all too well.
Yeah, so now it's just, it's nice outside. So now I can find my quiet spaces. It might be in the middle of the day. It might be a quick lunch break, walking around downtown somewhere. It might be in my car, right? In my car, in my driveway. Give me a few minutes to myself. They know in the house, if you see that car and I ain't come in yet, leave me alone. I need a minute, because we don't have the luxury of having days. Me, I'm lazy. If I give myself too much, I'm never gonna get back to it. So I just find those quick pockets. All you need is a quick minute. I might have got somebody in trouble. But I'm still learning.
Because I say that's the same thing. I'd say that about Brandon all the time. Like the only reason he don't stop is because he know himself.
Yeah.
Lay down.
That's it.
I ain't getting back up.
Here he go. Speaking of which. Okay, so I'm coming to pick your brain now. This would be cute, and I'll be trying to put y'all on display, but really, I'll be coming for my own class.
That's right.
You have mastered. So everybody knows me and Brandon started Pull Up Experience because people network ineffectively. You have been great at every single networking event we've caught you at. Mostly ours. I see you at a lot. You pull up virtually and watch the show as a real supporter. But your networking game, and even obviously for your job, is off the chain, because sometimes I know what I need. I know what I came here for originally. I know what I said I was going to do in the car. And then I don't know what happened. As soon as I signed in to the room, I checked out. Like I checked in and then I check out. How do you stay in there? What are some tips that you would give somebody at a networking event, either do's or don'ts? As far as making the most out of a networking event?
Okay. So I definitely have to shout out the Ward 5 office. Between my councilman and our council aide, Destiny. Destiny is our council aide, and we have a saying, and the saying is, girl, you're making me feel our age difference, because Destiny is 10 years younger. And so I see her and I just see myself. I see what I was doing. I see the ways. And so sometimes it's just about, between the two of them, I'm always thinking about what's the goal. Before I set his calendar, before I set the things that he's going to do, what's the ultimate goal? And I started thinking about that for myself, because there are so many things going on. It was until I got this job, I knew all the networking events that were even available. Like I had no clue there was so much things going on. I thought the heaviest time was the holidays, because everybody want to have galas and all this stuff like that. No, it's never stopping. I mean, every weekend you can, what I do, I pull up my Eventbrite. I type in some keywords, empowerment, networking, and the list just does not stop. So I instantly knew, like, girl, you cannot go to all of this and have a life and do work and all this stuff like that. So I immediately started thinking about the goal, because I just don't have time. I barely have time as it is. So the little that I do, if I'm going to a networking event, before I step foot in the door, what's the goal? Who do I think will be here? Because I done hopped on Instagram and Facebook and LinkedIn, and I done did what supposed to do on social media. I done scooped the scene. I know who's coming anyway. I know who's putting it on. So is anyone in that room? Number one, I can bring back to Ward 5. Number two, I can see, I can see helping me out in any way, or I can learn from. Once I hit those checked off, then I bring how many cards I want to pass out. So I'm bringing 5 business cards, and at the time it was 5 juice cards, and I wanted to give them out. If I gave out 10 of them cards, that was a successful event. It keeps me from staying on the wall, staying in my phone, and staying away from people. Because it's easy to go, and then you get there and you know no one. You're not talking to no one. Going other times, I'm telling all my friends, you want to go here, you want to go here, because if they get here and nobody coming, and so I'm like, girl, it's just me and me. So that's what it was. It's being intentional, because when you have time, you don't care. But when you don't have time and you trying to make it to work, to event, to after hour events, because ours are work hours, and then you have the time that you have your community meetings. So all of my events and meetings are in the evenings or on the weekends. That's on top of the daily 9 to 5. So just that alone, no time. My son plays volleyball, track, and football. No time.
You were training Olympic athlete.
We trying. We get paid one way or the other.
The options.
Right, but it's no time. So really being intentional. If you're going to go to work and make money in 8 hours, you need to figure out when you go to this networking event in 1 hour, what you doing. So that's what fuels me to get the courage to walk up to folks. And plus, I'm on social media, and for me, it's real. So when I'm chatting on you on social media, baby, when I see you in person, hey sis, hey girl, because it's real. I didn't do all that for nothing. I did it so we can have a little something to talk about when I meet you, because I'm coming to your event. So it's just being strategic. And shout out to being a mother, because like I said, I was thinking about yesterday, today, and tomorrow. It's the same thing with work. It's just a little bit different in how I carry it out.
I love that. Right, hit it one time. I hear you that. Thank you. So you actually came to the Minority Networking Resource Expo, Myrna. What are some key takeaways that you got from being there yesterday? Because not everybody was able to experience it, but it was such a transformative room.
Yes, it was.
What are some things that you got from that yesterday?
Well, let me look, because I was nervous. If you can't tell, I was nervous. I was writing down
about coming here.
Yeah,
oh,
girl, you pull up.
I can tell.
You know us, and we know you.
Thank you. I was, because I'm a connector of so many, but then you're in the presence of people who do so well. Look at you guys, 211 episode, baby.
Brandon, Brandon.
I love that we record these things, because when I piece it together, I'm like, remember Marquita said that?
I'm gonna be like, remember he clipped that, because I said,
like, this is greatness, and to see people have physical things that they're doing with greatness, it was a little nerve wracking, because I do a little bit of everything. Y'all are doing it.
Right here, we're doing it together.
Oh, thank you. So, I'm happy you brought that up, because the panel I hit. The funny thing about the panel, y'all. So yesterday was a day. I set my weekends up, and sometimes they happen, and sometimes you just got like, all right, Lord, we tried.
Right.
And yesterday was a we tried moment. I woke up that morning like, oh, okay, we're gonna get through it. Whatever we feeling, we're gonna get through it. And I did it, but in the process, I was late to the panel. But look at God.
Because you sat right in the front.
Baby, listen, I pulled up right to the front, right? And had I been there on time, I would have found a friend and sat wherever they sat, somewhere, not even thinking about it. But I'm running late, and I see that the only good seats, without me making too much noise, tripping over somebody, right in the front. Look at that. Right in the front, sitting right there. So I just politely sashayed my little stuff on down to the front, and I was just direct. And it felt like in the short time I was there, the panelists were speaking directly to me. So I just took in so much. But the one thing, and I actually had a great opportunity to meet Joshua Edmonds. He's the CEO of Digital C. Man, what? Just hearing how vulnerable he was, and so much of his story that he shared, and the gems that he dropped in a few minutes. It's like, if this man is handling deals, $1 million deals, right? And just as comfy as it is, like in the age range, right? We're neck and neck in the age range too. I'm like, oh, it's possible.
Don't worry, you're coming on Pull Up Experience next, y'all.
Good. But it's possible to see just the greatness right in there, in that moment where I was not feeling my best. I felt like my head looked a mess. So many things were going wrong, but I was able to come in right at that moment, front row and center, and listen to some of the things that they said. One thing he mentioned that it blew my mind was taking inventory. Taking inventory of people that you already know. And it's just like, you know what? I do know so many people, but I oftentimes just get caught up and I really don't know what to say besides hello. But when you take inventory, this job that I came in thinking it was me by myself, it now becomes me plus. Me and the team that I built up, the core people who were behind my back since the very first day they met me, and I'm able to call on them and lean on them whenever I need them. It's taking that inventory, and we don't think about that because we've wrapped up and it's just me, so I have no inventory. You got plenty. You have plenty. You just got to call on them, lean on them, build those relationships. So this whole light of mine, it comes because I want to build these relationships. I want to build them in my personal life, in my professional life, in every aspect of my life. It's just these relationships, because you can do a little bit by yourself, but you can do wonders with others. So I'm just trying to do wonders. That's
Title right there. Title right there. That's real, and you live that. You don't speak about it. You live that life.
Yeah.
So that's another great thing. No, absolutely. Okay. So talk about the past. Talk about the present. Talk about the future. What does the future hold for Miss Jess?
The future. Okay. You know, sometimes I become a little bit too spiritual because I grew up in
no such
thing.
I know it's not. I know it's not. But the old school church just come back and thinking about COVID.
Just Sunday on top of that.
And it's Sunday,
being
right?
spiritually grounded for real.
Yes, it's that foundation. And those are the best jokes, by the way. So sometimes people don't realize how serious I be when I talk about knowing your foundation, knowing the plans that I have for you. Jeremiah 29:11. Like, I laugh about it, I joke about it, but if it wasn't for those times, if it wasn't for that foundational base as a kid, that when I spared away or when I tried to do it and go and do it on my own, somehow, some way, I'm always being brought back to it.
The shepherd he is.
Yeah. So it's just my future is something that I don't know the answers to, but I can't wait to go through it. I'm just
That's a good one.
I'm here for it. I'm open for it. I see so many things that I want to do, but at the same time, I be doing too much sometimes. So I'm in this phase of my life where I'm seeing what I want, and then I'm listening. I'm working. I'm researching. I'm connecting, because if you don't go from 1 to 100, and sometimes we see all this stuff, we want to make it a business, make it a podcast, do this, do that, and it's just learn it first.
Don't look at me there.
But it's serious, because my mind, I can just, I started out doing candles. And I did that, and I started out doing candles for a Mother's Day project, oddly enough, and then it took off. I loved it. Then boom, I started doing juices, and it took off. I loved it, right? So I say that for me, it's like, girl, you want to do this, that, and the third. Hold on. Hold on for a second. Put it in order. Really dive deep into it, and this through that process that you kind of learn yourself. So the future, I will have a high school graduate, and that right now is just that. But after that, I don't know. I see myself continuing doing what I'm doing now, pouring into the next generation, loving on myself to get myself to the next generation.
So what I love about you is when you pull up planned and purposefully, right? And if y'all know Jess, she's going to have her notebook out. She literally take notes. So how did you get started with, like, I don't care where I'm going, like, you grab, most people like chapstick, keys, phone, cool. She like chapstick, keys, phone, notebook, and a pen, and a backup pen. So how did you get so purposeful with your planning? Because, like, where did the purpose and intention of, like, yo, I need a notebook?
I started journaling. I don't know. I think when I bought my house, right? I purchased a home, and that's a whole whirlwind of emotions right there. But sometime around that time, look, you know. So sometime around then, I started journaling, and then I started kind of flipping through some of the pages. And you don't realize how much you go through until you read it back. But how do you read it back if you didn't write it down? we have these businesses as ideas, but it's not until you put it to paper. So I don't know. I've always been a creative spirit because I can't draw for a lick.
Tired of carrying that load? Drop the house. Gutter Properties will buy your house as is with offers up to $300,000. Need serious repairs, liens, taxes, or judgments? We'll work through your unique situation to get that house off your back. During your free, no-obligation appraisal, we maintain social distancing and take every precaution to ensure your experience is safe. Drop the house. Gutter Properties. Call us or visit gutterproperties.com today.
I will journal, I will doodle, I will do that. And that's just been something I've always done all my life. But once I got into working, I realized, I need to write on all of this. So it's a skill, I guess, that just stuck with me. And so I write down everything. And now with my job, I have to be 100% mobile, 100% ready, no matter where I'm at. So when you see me, you see my bag, my laptop, my phone, everything.
She because the laptop. It's so fun. It's not funny, but it is. She will come. She be ready.
Because the job is just, it never ends. When you work in the public's eye, and it never ends, especially working in the city, right? So my 9 to 5 is that, but in the middle of the Christmas season, when it's a snowstorm, that phone is blowing up. Do you say, I'm gonna get it on Monday? Right? You would never. So that's where that thought process came in. So now wherever I'm at, I know that 9 times out of 10, that phone could at any time go off. And I try to just be prepared. I try to be ready. Like I said, my councilman is busy. So we meeting, I'm emailing, I'm typing, I'm checking, we out in the public, he's meeting, he's at an event. Oh yeah, just tell Jessica. All right, let me do it right now. So it is a habit, and that habit has allowed me to make the most of my time. Because at the podcast, at the podcast summit, I've learned to get to events early because why? Why wait till last second?
You definitely were, yeah. She was like the first person there.
I came a few minutes early because it was still partially like the day is still early. So when the day is still early, it's not over. So I can't just come there, sit there. I have to make the most of my time. So I'm typically at events about an hour or so early because I'm working up until that last very second. To give myself the breathing room for my mind to be clear to even retain. Right? I have to do it.
That's good.
So I don't know. It's and it made me feel important. No, no, I just work. I'm odd like that. My brain isn't a typical 9 to 5. I cannot clock in at 9, work till 5, and I have to have those spurts, those breaks, that time to myself. So sometimes the time to myself is a drive in the car. It's a drive silent. It's a drive with gospel. But then at that 15, 20 minutes, I'm refreshed. All right, boom, let me get back to it. So I just stay ready so you never have to get ready, basically.
That's good.
So I'm gonna let y'all. I'm gonna let you finish.
We have
always.
So, and I'm pretty sure just can't.
I ain't done with my question. I was snatching the mic. This is my yay moment. Taylor.
Bam.
Yeah, my bad.
Anyways.
She call me Taylor.
Yeah, you said my bad. But no, one thing I love about you is you're a walking testimony. So if you could give a message to young mothers, what would that message be and why?
Okay.
As a young mother, and I'm really looking at pregnant me, embarrassed, scared, nervous, all of those feelings. No matter what age, no matter what circumstance, you're more than enough. You're more than enough. You will be enough, and you're going to learn it. You're going to make your way through it. It's hard. It's something that, number one, you're not prepared for. You probably didn't mean to happen, and you don't think you know how you're going to get through it, right? But go back to that 2 loaves of bread, right? You're gonna figure it out. You're gonna find a way. Your gift is going to multiply. So just on those nights, journal. I charge you right now. Pick up a pen for you, because nobody else is going to read it but you. Yeah. But you're going to be able to see in your darkest hour that you previously made it through another dark hour. Right? I went from working and going to school at Baldwin Wallace, making like, I don't know, $7, $8, $9 an hour, something crazy. But I made it. Then you graduate, you think you about to make the big bucks. the big bucks was $10.
Back then.
$10 an hour, right? And that was a temp job that I took. And through the grace of God, that 10 turned to 17. Because I was hired in directly for a role that they had just made. A role that wasn't even a position. But I interviewed for it and they seen something. And that's what my boss at the time told me. Like, I don't know what it was because I was the youngest thing in there. But it was a job in training and development. And it was just something in me that she said she saw, my boss at the time. And I'm like, you know what? I don't even know what to say because I came in as a temp. And then from that first job in training and development, it just molded me and prepared me for the next step. And it's crazy. I didn't think that. The person who has a 17-year-old, the person that was 17 with the baby, never would have thought I would have made it to the point that I'm at. And I know it's not nowhere near close to the end. So wherever you are in your journey, in your life, in your situation, write it down. Write it down. And then the next time you come to that next hard time, that next moment where you just have no clue, no idea, I didn't know where the next dollar was coming from in some cases, right? Go back and you're going to see that the troubles that I had now, I got over worse troubles in the past, right? I think my paycheck in school might have been $200. $200 every 2 weeks with a toddler. Where they do that at? But we made it. We made it and we kept pushing forward and we're still making it. So you're going to make it, you're making it. And at the end of the day, when the day ends, you will be able to say you made it.
I know Tracy all the time said if you're ever on a bad day, look back at your worst day and look how you made it past that worst day. You know, so your life is your own, is your the very testimony you're looking for. All you gotta do is look backwards.
Because you can't see forward. You don't know what tomorrow may bring, but you know where you came from. You know where you don't want to go back to. If you know that you made it. So
if you made it today, you can make it today.
Yeah.
No, that's good stuff. So, and like I said, watching the pull-up experience, we have several questions we ask everybody. Right? And I love these questions because every answer is like a snowflake. They're unique.
Yeah.
But I love knowing where people's mindset is with our city because even though you work on Ward 5, Cleveland, unfortunately, has an overarching reputation for not being collaborative. So my question to you is, how do you feel like you share a narrative of Cleveland not being collaborative?
We can change it, just by hitting the DM.
Oh man!
At this point, we all know everybody. We all know one another. We all know Cleveland small. So if Cleveland is small, that means we all know each other. Let's get it in. Let's work. Let's start the set on August 17th at our Ward 5 Back to School Resource Fair.
At the friendly end. Come get friendly at the friendly end.
Let's change the narrative then, right? Reach out. If you have a service, if you have a product, if you have a business, if you're looking for transportation, the biggest thing in the ward is that people don't have a car to get there. So we can host all the events we want, but if people can't physically get there, who will be there? So we're looking for transportation services. We're looking for people who have the vans. We're looking for any and everybody. We're looking for food vendors. We're looking for caterers. We're looking for anybody in the industry. You want to change the narrative that Cleveland does not collaborate. Let's come together and collaborate.
We had a show note so you guys can collaborate with us.
Absolutely.
Yes. And then also, that leads to the next question. Who would you love to collaborate in the future? Well, anyone, because I know they watching. I know they watching.
Absolutely. And you know what? I love this question because the last time I was asked this question, we were at Creative Space.
Yes.
And I politely said, my sis, Mary Johnson, Vitamin Candy.
Yes.
I love her. You're talking about pouring in, baby,
Come
from
on
day
now.
one.
Shout out to Mary.
Man, if you know, you know. And we know.
Yes.
We know.
Yes.
But I said her, and oddly enough, making some things happen.
Shut up.
Look at God, won't he do it?
Won't he will.
But that also brings me back to, and I don't know if you remember, because when we were there as well at Creative Space that night, it was the charge brought to us that if we came and we did some type of collaboration.
Jesse wasn't playing, huh?
I don't play, yeah.
That's wild.
And we were charged to do something together and to bring it back.
You tell Asia yet?
I didn't tell her
Oh,
yet.
you didn't tell
You
her.
just said it yesterday.
I know
Asia.
she was busy. I was trying to
Booked
find my
and
way
busy,
in, but I was like, you know what, baby, I see you working, and there's still more going.
Yeah.
There's still more to be made.
That's dope, though. You the only person I think that actually still gonna carry it out.
But
No.
I have to do that. If I don't do that, I don't take it serious. If I don't walk away saying I need to do this, that, and the third, I'm doing nothing. And who benefited from me walking into a room, saying hi, saying hello, kicking, and going home?
Well, technically speaking, no, I was playing. I'll talk to Asia afterwards. Technically speaking,
he want to get in on this collab.
Yeah, no, we did a couple collabs.
Y'all did.
Technically speaking, no, I was playing, but no, yeah, that's dope. That's dope. Because Asia, y'all, so me and Brittany, we were there. We were interviewing great like this, and Asia gave us a challenge of saying, "Hey, if anybody can come collaborate with somebody who was here at the event." What was the prize? I think it was $1,000. Not $1,000, like $500.
It was $500, something like that. I think it was $500.
Exactly $500.
But I just say all that to say, like, I took the charge.
Absolutely.
I'm still taking the charge.
Absolutely.
And it's simple things like that where she didn't say to me personally, right? She put it out there, and doing the things that she's doing, that's the motivation. Absolutely. I mean, everywhere you see her, even yesterday. Hold on, stop. Y'all need to network. Y'all need to get a number. Like, we're not just bringing people together. We're being intentional. We're making those changes. We're collaborating real live in the moment.
In the moment. To action right in the moment. Yeah. Absolutely. Shout out to the act takers.
Well, Jess, we're having a phenomenal time because it ain't over yet, y'all. We're having a great time with you. Got to learn even more about you than from the networking event. So this has been a true blessing on a Sunday. Thank you, Lord.
Come on now.
So when it comes to legacy for you and legacy for your business, what would that look like for you?
For me, it would look like my story being told from somebody else. Because I won't be around to tell it. But if other people can continue to tell some of that story, if other people can continue to say, I remember when Jess did, right? If other people can remember places that I've been, and even moments. Yesterday, I was able to reconnect with a young woman that was a volunteer at our event last year, Savannah. Shout out to you, boo. And she came up to me, and I love her for it because she came up to me. She's like, I know you from somewhere. I know. I'm like, well, everybody said they know me, so I don't know. I'm everywhere. We very well may know each other, but I wasn't getting it. And do you know, this girl didn't stop. Like, I was kind of like, girl, just I don't know. You just let it go. No, baby, she didn't. And that persistence. I'm like, you know what? Wait a minute. I do remember you. And it was just beautiful. It was just that if people can come back to me, now come back to me. But when I'm gone, if people can recap and remember and vocalize some of the things that I did, that's the legacy that I want to live. I want to be able to still be relevant in people when I'm no longer around.
That's good.
I like that.
That's real good. I'm still there. I'm sorry.
No,
He's
trademark. You probably will. You got on camera. And then what about legacy for your businesses, Just Juice and everything else that you have in the future?
For my legacy for my business, I'm just going to go ahead and say it. I see myself being a serial entrepreneur. Okay. Because there's so many bags to be made. There's so many. It is. And when you're passionate about something, bringing it back to juice. The passion came from a pineapple, a watermelon, an orange, and it led into me being able to mentor girls, me being able to go to different organizations. Queen I Am, my very first presentation to the youth. Queen I Am brought me in. I met her. We were able to connect. We had a good vibe immediately. And she offered, why don't you come out to the girls? And of course, yeah, girl, come out. But then when I did it, I was like, girl, you ain't never in your life did this before. But I did it. And it was something that may be the reason why I'm even able to be here today. Other people looking into me. So for my legacy, for my business, I see it doing things that I can't even explain. I see it going that far. How far could that be? Could it be an actual brick and mortar? Yes. A space people can come together and be authentically themselves. Mothers can come together and get resources they might need. Kids can come together in a safe environment. Could it lead to other open doors and spaces? Yes. But once again, like with me, I want my business hopefully to be around for my legacy, but if not, for the legacy of that story to be around. That encouraging story of how to make it as an entrepreneur. I want that to live forever. Even if I don't have a physical product, the thought, the idea, the way we helped people at that time when it was something, I want that to be around forever.
That's good. That's good. Well, Jess, you truly have been a blessing.
Oh,
today.
thank you.
And I'm sure for those that are watching, they're encouraged, they're inspired, they're motivated. You really have just been giving us a lot of gems. He's been lighting that thing up. So what we have to do is we got to take all of what you gave us and kind of condense it on down. So what would be your top 3 of something that someone should be able to take away from today?
My top 3, number 1, use what you have.
That's good.
In an era where we want the latest and greatest iPhone, we need the hottest shoes. Use what you have.
Come on now.
Right? Recreate that closet, recreate them thoughts. Whatever you have, use it. And then number 2, you are more than enough. And that's a message not just for the moms, but specifically for the moms. You're more than enough. More than enough. No matter what you may think you're doing, whether you're thinking you're doing it wrong or whether you're thinking you want to get into something new, before you begin, you are more than enough. When you begin, you're perfecting that craft, but you have enough to get started. And then number 3, so this is a little saying that I say, if you want to make God laugh, tell him your plans.
No, seriously. You sound like marketing now.
Because it's true. I hopped off the porch thinking I'm going to get this degree. I'm going to go into public relations. I'm going to be at some big Fortune 500 company, living life like that. Now, I'm not saying I haven't made some strides. I have. But I thought I had my life, whole thing written out and done. And here I am. Similar, but God has shifted. God found a way. And it was his way. Because I thought I had my own. But he came in with his way. And so just always bring it back to the Lord. Always bring it back to that foundation. But definitely in that humbling moment, I've even laughed at myself thinking about the plans that I thought I thought I had for myself.
I'm sorry about my kids' schedule. They must have burned down the house or something.
I can't.
Bitty.
Bow. It's a holiday. It's a holiday.
It is.
Oh man, no, but yeah. So I love that, and again, Jeremiah 29:11 with that whole like, baby,
yes.
If you only knew the plans I have for you, stop trying to tell me what you got going on. If you're trying to force your way, because what you're doing ain't right.
Yeah.
Goodness gracious. Everybody want to tell me what they got going on. I done wrote this before I wrote you. Right?
Yeah.
Don't take me there no Sunday.
I'm not acting like I got some sense today. I told y'all I'm gonna be better. But Jess, this has been amazing. And I know how I am when they come to you. I don't ever want you to actually go. And more people need to know you exist. So the best ways for them to find you, I'm going to put it in the show notes below because I know how y'all is. But let the people know where they can come and get you directly.
Yes. So if you would like to connect with me directly on Instagram and on Facebook, the number 1 Bless Jess, or my business page, Jess Juice. That's a play off my name, Jess, right? Jess Juice, JESS Juice. And then if you're looking for me to collaborate with Ward 5, feel free to hit us up on the phone, the office of Ward 5, 216-664-2309. And you can also find our website, our email addresses if you want to reach out to us directly, either myself or Councilman Starr. We're here for that collaboration piece. So you have phone numbers, email, social media. If all else fails, come on down to City Hall.
And by the way, for anybody who is lazy as hell, right below where you're watching the episode is going to be right there, so you guys can contact with Jess, okay? Yes. We can't thank you enough, Jess. Really.
I can't thank y'all enough.
Yeah, girl. I'm so glad you came.
Yeah, we really do appreciate you. So, like I said, guys, we got to pay some bills. Guys, all roads lead to the Pick a Block Honors. If you are just want to be in the room of just Black excellence, this is the room you want to be in. So June 22nd, 2024, we will all be there. Severance Hall, guys. Thank you to the Pink Block Honor. Thank you to Nora Edwards. Thank you to her amazing staff who put together an event that we dearly needed.
Yes.
Yeah. So, in the shameless plug, your boys nominated. Okay. Thank you.
That ain't enough.
I'm like, what's he gonna butt in? Because no.
You knew I was coming with it. I was trying. Okay, period. We done with the humble moment. My bro, Brandon Gates of the Pull Up Experience is a finalist for Entrepreneur of the Year. And if you know, like I know, and I know you know because you've been watching it, we on episode 211. Period. Y'all pull up game is strong, so pull up to the voting polls. Voting is open right now. It will stay open till May 17th. So do it right now so you don't got to worry about when May 17th is. Period. Get up there and vote for my bro because when he is announced the Entrepreneur of the Year, and I'm claiming it early because you have done the work, not because you actually halfway decent, but you are. But he has done the work, continues to do the work, and not just for himself, but to make sure that we are all pulled up. Yes, he will pull up as in be in the area, but he'll pull you up as in make sure that there's the connections that needs to be made, introducing each other. Introducing ourselves, which is dope entrepreneurs, creatives. Anybody got anything going on in the city? They know Bernie Gates, and they know Bernie Gates is going to tell the right people so that you can have a very successful event. Because it's not enough just to be doing it; you have to be doing it amazingly. We're going to talk about it after this. However, y'all make sure y'all go pull up to them voting polls. The link will be down below. You can also vote directly at pinkandblackhonors.com. Go and put your vote in for my bro. When I stand up yelling and acting a fool, I really want to see all of y'all there with me doing the same thing. Give my bro his flowers while he can still smell them. You earned them.
I appreciate that.
Pink and Black Honors is June 22nd. All roads lead to the Pink and Black Honors on June 22nd. Until then, there will be events throughout the city, including the one that we were just talking about, and we know Just Below Gang Strong.
Yeah.
There will be events continuing to come up. One of those events will be early June. We'll be doing another Let's Talk About It panel.
Yes.
This one is going to specifically focus on business and relationships. So we'll have different people in different walks in their journey as far as business and relationships goes, whether they're married, single, or in that weird dating phase, trying to figure it all out. We're going to talk about all things because y'all know we big on Let's Talk About It. Yeah. And we're all big on conversations about elevation, period. That's how we started. That's how we're going to continue to move. When it comes to our events, y'all know we are great at curating the right rooms, right? And not only making the right room, but making the right connections in the room so that you are not wasting your time or mine, because I don't got enough of it. However, we want to make sure that you guys are always here. With that being said, Brandon, we definitely want to support. Jess, we definitely want to support. But I would be remiss if I did not make sure that we support my good sis, Britt. Yes. Now, she is on her podcast, Beauty Told. Everything, love, finance, relationship based. Make sure if y'all mess with us, y'all absolutely mess with Brittany. So go and listen to them talk about it. I'm still trying to get my episode. You know what I'm saying? So make sure y'all go run them views up. As soon as y'all get done watching us, y'all go watch my good sis. Now, y'all know she holds it down for the pull up, but she also builds you up. She goes deep diving into people's experiences, whether it's entrepreneurship, relationship, or relational or otherwise. She gets them to talk about it, open it up, and she creates this safe space of vulnerability to let you guys know that if you are going through it, if you have made it through, there are others who are just like you. Though you are an individual, your situation and circumstances are not unique. And she helps you navigate that space of figuring out how to get through it, how to listen to the gems, and hopefully navigate that minefield where you don't make the same mistakes we did, right? You get there faster because we all grow when we go further faster, right? You want to go further faster, you go with other people, period. Our pull-up game strong, her pull-up game strong. Make sure y'all always go see my good sis, Jess. By August 17th, I want to see all y'all at the friendly end because I'm going to call you out if I don't see you there, period. Make sure y'all connect with her. Behind the cameras, we got Lady B and Alien Eyes. They are always holding it down for our family when it comes to pull-up experience. So if y'all see these views, because we got two, it's giving views. It's giving views, period. So shout out to Steve for making sure the views are out of this world. We could not do it without anybody else and out of everybody. The reason that this works is because of you guys. Thank you for the views. Thank you for the likes, shares, comments, reposts, even if it's just a good joke. What I love about y'all is y'all clearly get something from it and y'all continue to pour into us just by pouring into yourselves. Sometimes all you got to do is pull up, even if it's virtually. So thank you for being you. Without further ado, I think I hit on everything. Is we good?
And listen, time out because I need to open the comments. I'm retiring from ever doing outro ever again because she does a great job.
No, I had to do the intro.
The one that gives that Marquita has hands down edification. God bless this young lady.
what the gift is being in the presence of greatness. So edification is an art, sure, but it's also about having people where you can clearly see that they're doing things, they are making a difference, and just being able to understand and give people their value. Like, hey, I see this in you. I love this about you. Thank you for letting me experience you. And thank y'all for just being amazing. And thank you for being amazing. I did. But we're going to close that out. I can't get no better than that. Yeah. So, episode 211. 211, y'all. Bye. Peace.